Hey everybody, it's Duel, and today we're going to be going over on how to temper your gear. Now, tempering is something that was added to Diablo 4 in Season 4, and it is carried over into Season 5, and I believe it's a permanent mechanic into the game. And it adds so much power to your equipment that you can just not go without it. You have to have tempering on all of your gear. So let's get started. So when you get gear, when you first get started, you're gonna pick up a bunch of rares and non-rares. I think they're magic, they're blues, and then rares are yellow. And so you'll end up getting, eventually you'll get a bunch of legendaries in your inventory, and that's when you'll want to start tempering. Now, to temper, you have to pick up tempering manuals, which you'll pick up running around Helltide, doing dungeons, just doing any sort of event, pretty much just playing the game, and tempers will drop. And then as you get these temper manuals, they'll pop up in your inventory right in here. You'll right click it and it'll just enter in your tempering, and you don't have to pick up that manual ever again. Now, I believe they reset every season, so just keep that in mind when you're playing the next season. Oh, where are all my temper manuals? Well, they got wiped out. So anyway, how to actually temper. So we go over to the blacksmith, and the blacksmith is located in pretty much every major city. Right now we're in Kiovashad, and here's the blacksmith here, the blacksmith icon. We click on the blacksmith, we get a piece of gear, and right now we have a root fist piercing of static. Now, keep in mind, you don't want to just temper everything that you get, and it's also worth noting that you can't temper. I'm pretty sure you can only temper legend. Oh, you can temper rares. I'm sorry. You can temper rares. I don't usually temper the rares. I usually wait till I get a legendary, and then I temper that equipment. Now, one thing I will say is if you have a unique, you cannot temper uniques. As you see here, we're on the tempering tab here inside the blacksmith, and I have a couple uniques here on my level 100 sorcerer, and it's blacked out because you're not allowed to temper them, and that's fine, at least for now. They might add that to the game later, who knows, but as of now, you can't do it. So anyway, you take your weapon, you put it into the item spot, and then you'll have either offensive or weapons, depending on your item. These different stats could change, right? Like if you're wearing, for a good example, if I had pants in here, I would throw pants in there, and they would give me like defense or resource and things of that nature. And then boots, same thing, like mobility or utility. So anyway, we're gonna click on this just for the sake of it. I have a bunch of stats, so I'm able to demo this on a weapon I don't really care about. We're gonna click offensive, and so this is where your tempering manuals will appear in, right? So if you're running around, you click up, you pick up all the manuals, and then you're in here, and then these are the options that are available to you. So when you get to World Tier 3, you get Sacred Gear. You'll be able to temper. I can't talk today. Temper one item, or one temper on your item. And then when you get to Real Tier 4 and you start getting ancestral items, you'll be able to temper twice. So again, we'll come over here. This is an ancestral level 925 item power. We're going to click offensive just for the sake of it. And let's just say we want fire damage. So we temper it, and then it's going to say, oh, this will bind it to your account. It'll be untradeable, and that's completely fine. If you're not going to trade it, then who cares? So one thing I will mention is that when you temper, it is completely RNG. So now you can see that it's tempering, it's doing its thing. Black Mist does his thing, he's cooking. Oh, look at that, we got fire damage. Oh, we're done with that temper. So now we can go on to the wet. We don't want to touch this again, because if we do, it's going to wipe out that previous temper. So a good example is if I go in here and I say, oh, I want to do cold damage or vulnerable damage now, it's going to wipe out that fire damage. So we don't want that for this category. So now we want to go over to the weapons category, where we don't have any tempers. And we're going to say, oh, which one on here do I want? Well, I have fire damage on here, so we want to do the fire damage elemental surge. So we click on that and temper it. So now that we've tempered our first temper, we didn't get the one that we wanted. We're going to try it again. We want to get elemental surge fire damage. So here we go, tempering again. And it's completely random. We don't get to control which one we get, and it really sucks. So we got cold damage. And as you can see here, so we do it again, weapons, elemental surge, and then you can see down here at the bottom, and it tells you existing affix will be replaced, and that's the one that you're currently, for the category that you're on, which is weapons. And we have 4 rerolls remaining, so we'll try it again. Oh, we got physical damage. We didn't get it. So if you can kind of see how it works, you just do it over and over until you get what you need. So we're gonna keep trying. Come on, baby. We got 2 more tries left. We got lightning damage. We got lightning damage. And so there you go. So one thing to note is that when you temper stuff, I'm just gonna put a random item here, and we're just gonna say shock finesse. Wait, actually, no, we're not. I want. I don't. That's an item I actually want. So basically, what I'll just say it here. When you do the rerolls, it's shared across categories. So if I had weapons and offensive, hang on, I might have a item I can actually show this with. Let's just do. Yeah, let's do this guy here. Go over here. Grab another guy here. I just want to demonstrate this. Easier to explain than not show you. So we got weapons, we got offensive. So if I do natural finesse and I temper it and I get, you know, whatever aspects, distant damage, and then I come over here, elemental surge. So now we've officially got 2 tempers on our gear now. You can see that on your item here, the underneath your 3 affixes, you've got your 2 tempers. And so one thing that's worth noting is, like, now if I try to re-temper for the offensive category, my rolls are shared across both of these categories, or any category really. So you get 5 tries. So if I temper, I'm out, or temper, and then temper, I'm out of rerolls. That's it. And you can no longer temper it anymore. And this, if you get tempers that you don't like, that's considered bricking an item. And it's bricked because you can't temper it anymore. And you got 2 affect. Let's say I didn't want damage to crowd control and lucky hit on physical damage. I didn't like those. I didn't like that. But this weapon had the affixes that I wanted. Well, now this weapon's officially bricked. So what do? Well, you can do a couple things. One, you can just stick with it until you find a weapon that has the same exact affixes, or even a greater affix, and temper it until you get what you want. Or you salvage it and you move on with your life, and you're sad. But anyways, hopefully that was a quick little rundown on how tempering works. I hope that made sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.